season and new learnings. This time we are talking to architects and designers who are doing something different in the field. As the podcast name says, Me Time with Sagar, it is filled with nonsense laughs and fun rounds of questions. In this podcast, we will listen to architect Vishakha Tiwari, founder of Architecture Candy. Hello, Vishakha. It's great to have you on our first episode of our podcast series, Me Time with Sagar. And we could have also seen you on a season finale video of Art Saga Dialogue, and it was fun.
Hi Sagar, it's really nice to be here, and I'm really excited for this particular interview. It sounds so much fun, and honestly, I have done a couple of live etc., but this one sounds very exciting. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so now you're here. We have very funny questions lined up for you, and this podcast will be funny, and there will be a rapid fire in the end. But trust me, it will not get you in trouble.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So starting with our talk with illustrations, can you explain to our audience what is an illustration?
All right. So basically, I think illustration again is a very broad term. A lot of people call any creative visual or creative image as illustration. I think first, I don't agree with it. I personally, in my vocab, like this is my personal vocabulary, I feel like whatever is done on Illustrator is illustration. Rest everything you can call different names. And now that we have 2 years or 3 years back, not everyone was producing a lot of creative visuals. But now once we are in that stream, there are different styles. So luckily we have in the past few years, we have developed different styles of illustrations. So illustration is a very broad term. So you work on post-digital collage, you work on renderings, 2D renderings, etc. And then you work on Illustrator illustrations, and then you work on diagrams. So for me, illustration is nothing. It's basically some picture which you made from Illustrator. That's for me is illustration. But I agree what you're coming from, where you're coming from. Illustration is something creative visual, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's correct. So what is the one thing you wish you would know if you have known before this beginning your career?
If I would have known that this would go very huge like this, there are two things I would have done. One thing was being more digital savvy, like more knowing sort of more Premiere Pro to edit videos, to get a YouTube channel, to record myself, and to put my face forward there as much as well. And obviously, yes, the name, sometimes I feel like this wouldn't have been the name if I would have known that this is going to be my full-time thing for 2 years, and this will have 96,000 followers, etc. So yeah, one thing, I mean, I'm not regretting, but this is like I would have done something else.
So were you a techie in college?
No, actually I learned AutoCAD also correctly in my internship, and in fact, all the software, Lumion, SketchUp, Photoshop, I learned in my internship, which was basically in third year. Before that, I was not a very digital person. Even by the end of the fifth year as well, I think I became better in fifth year with all the other softwares like Photoshop, Lumion, better than the peers. But again, it was shitty Photoshop at that point.
But now the story is very different of Photoshop and Illustrator. So like you have said something about the name, but I will ask you again why there's a candy in the name.
All right. So this is not the kind of candy which you're imagining, because I know what the next question is going to be. So this is not related to that. This basically, when I remember like when I just started the page, it was at midnight, after midnight, I just made the page, and my idea was something to create something from eye candy, because I wanted my graphics to be eye candy. Absolutely, like beautiful. That's the idea. Like from the beginning, I knew it has to be aesthetic and beautiful. That was the only focus at that point, and still is, I won't deny. So beautiful, like eye candy, and then architecture. So I mixed both of that and called it as architecture candy. Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you're listening to this, remember what she has told. But on the lighter note, which is your favorite candy?
I don't eat candies actually. I don't eat a lot of sugar as well, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of chocolates too. Maybe vanilla ice cream or shakes. I think that could be my
I
favorite.
think
Yeah.
architects are stress eaters. Like they eat a lot when they're stressed.
No, actually, I'm not that kind. But there was a time for 2 years I had quit sugar. But then slowly, I started again. But I'm not a foodie. So you can say that I'm not into eating
Oh,
sugar, etc. All that.
okay. So before like jumping out of the topic, I'll bring you back. So
Yeah.
if there is any funny incident when you started the page or people were not taking you seriously, how was that experience?
Actually, it never happened that way. Very honestly, I don't remember any time when people didn't take me seriously as such or something. So I can't recall of any situation as such. Like, I don't know. I mean, never. I can't think anything of
Any funny DM you received?
funny DM. I don't know. Somebody like mm, I don't know. In some of the questions which I post like Q&A sort of, someone asking, "Are you single? Oh, are you ready to do this? Something or like so these kind of stupid things." I do get it, and that is I don't know. I mean, even though I'm not very much. My face is not active on an architecture candy, but still, like I think people know that there's a girl, so kind of those kind of comments
I
do
think
come
it
some.
is because of the competitions like you have been in, people know you that you are the face behind the page.
Yeah,
So
probably. I think.
I also didn't knew that who was running the page, but when I saw some you were the jury for some competition, and then I
Yes.
got to know you that okay, she's running the page. So
Uh,
uh,
yeah.
so, so we all go to the phase when we encounter some crazy clients, and most of my reels are from those same experiences. So
Okay.
what is your experience?
um, Crazy. I'm not sure what crazy. I actually, honestly speaking, I've not dealt with a lot of crazy, but I've dealt with a lot of nagging clients, like nagging, like they don't want this. So I have left a couple of projects in the middle because I'm not a very good person at stress. Like when it comes to stress, I always I'm a person who would prefer mental peace over money. So whatever it is, I would just quit the project, take your money back. I am not dealing with you. So that's how I deal with it. So I don't have to deal with a lot of stress or nagging as a crazy part of the clients because when they start showing that crazy side, I just quit because I
Yes.
know how it goes. So I was in a situation where things went very bad. So from that, I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this. I have to like say bye to it.
I think that's true. Like the right thing to do is not to go to that clients who are like not
Yes.
good fit for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy. And I don't know why, but I have dealt with a lot of people international as well. Luckily, I have the exposure of working with a lot of international clients as well. No offense, but crazy part of good deal of crazy part is only from India. I don't know why it is, but there is something about Indian clients. So this is me
I,
being candid. And
the bargaining
so yeah.
skills of
Oh
Indians.
my God, absolutely. I think, and they kind of this mentality you can feel that when they pay you, they think that they own you, kind of a thing. So, which is so bad. So, yeah, I kind of stopped dealing with people from India. Like, I start charging a lot higher so that they automatically say, oh, I cannot afford you, something like that. Yeah.
But I think illustration is still very new kind of presentation for Indian clients.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so that's true. And not everyone wants to invest as well that much there because, first of all, they don't recognize it as one of the crucial things as well. But I think now a lot of people have recognized that social media
Hmm.
importance, the presence in social media, presence on social media, and plus the website, how the website should look like. So I do tend to get a lot of DMs as well. Like, do you do this? Do you do social media for pages, etc., etc. So at that point, I know that they probably will not have the budget of whatever they are thinking, etc. And that's something I feel like has to change if you are into it. But I can't complain because architects who work their ass off, they also don't get paid that much.
Yes,
So yeah, can't do anything about it.
that's true. So apart from architecture candy, what else you do?
Oh, nice question. So I worked as an urban designer before Architecture Candy.
Hmm.
I was working in Pune in CBRE,
Hmm.
and then I quit my job just before the lockdown, basically. So almost unemployed for 2 months, and no option of getting another job as well, because everything was locked down. People are losing jobs. So at that point, I decided to take workshops and start Architecture Candy. Fast forward last year, and then I started thinking about doing a master's. And then I came to London for my master's in construction project management. So the course is still ongoing. I have finished both the semesters. I have my dissertation in September. But I also got a job as an urban designer in London. So I'll be pretty much starting next week as an urban designer. So so basically you can say I did it like full time for 1.5 years. I wasn't doing anything else. It was going great. So I didn't feel the need of it. But then I decided to come out of India. And I think I made the right choice.
That's nice. That's a great thing too. I had a kind of similar story. I also resigned before lockdown, and I
Yeah.
was almost I was unemployed by choice for a
Yeah.
year or so, and that I was like I wanted to dedicate my time to this platform, YouTube and everything. So I also did full time YouTubes on the Revit courses, and it
Oh,
took me
wow.
almost like 5 to 6 hours to record everything. It
Amazing.
was hell of time went there, and then I stopped YouTube completely. Then last year I came with season 1 of Art Saka Dialogue, and this time in Jan to April I had a season 2. So yes, and meanwhile I also did some consultancy freelance jobs for certain companies, and also started my own firm. So yeah, it's a crazy ride still.
Awesome. So I think it's very good that you also did not limit yourself to one sort of a profile or job profile. Is not
Yes.
like it's not defining you as a person. So you don't let that happening. So this is pretty commendable.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I think you must have go through a crazy schedule, like doing a full-time job, handling architecture crazy, doing workshops. So how do you spend your me time, as the part it says, podcast
Uh,
says me time with Sagar?
okay, so no, I wasn't doing a full-time job anytime with Architecture Candy. I will be starting now, so I think now it's gonna get the crazy part here, but I'll see how I can do things, and I'll be getting help from my team. So I have a team as well, 2 to 3 people
Mm-hmm.
working back in India on freelance basis, part-time basis, etc. So hopefully they will help me out now at this point, because now I'll be needing a lot more help. And but yeah, I think the me time is basically I like going to the gym. So I really enjoy that part. Like that are like I know I'm not very consistent always, but when I go there, I really enjoy how I feel after that. So that's one of the things which I am into. And yeah, second is Netflix. Just watching a lot
Everyone
of, yeah, I think that's
waiting for
one.
Stranger Things.
No. I'm not into Stranger Things actually. I just watched the
Oh,
first season and didn't like it as much. I'm more into crime and
ah,
documentaries, true crime, drama, etc. So
Southern
basically,
India,
they're very darker. Yeah,
Southern India.
yeah, Southern India, but on like an English versions of those.
Oh my
Does this
God.
sound sophisticated?
Yes.
Hmm.
Maybe for the interview, but I don't think, like, maybe you would watch it in secret.
Yeah, I do.
So I'll be firing some rapid fire questions at you. Your favorite illustration page or an artist?
My favorite is actually there are two of my favorites. One of them is Adriette, my work. I think she's my inspiration. You can say like when I started the page. So one of her, and second is um, there's Tom Gardner. I think they both are UK based artists. They are really good. I really love their work, and I think they are setting a very good standards and architectural illustrations and drawings. Yeah.
So any verified account or anyone following your account or any other platforms?
Uh, Actually, on my personal, I know one verified account they follow me, but it's a fitness page, so you can't count that. But on my architecture candy, I don't think any verified people follow me, but there are like few of very good, well-known people, well-known content creators out there, and also one of the associates. I think that's a big deal. Foster and Partners has always been my best sort of favorite firms, the top firm, and
Oh,
Narendra Sagu, who is an associate there, he follows me. He follows me
great.
since a long time, and I remember the day when he had got the notification. I was so delighted, like so elated. So yeah, that's a huge deal for me, even though it's not verified. But for me, it's more than that.
Yes, absolutely. Moshi Shavde found follows me.
Oh
So I
wow,
was like
awesome.
crazy that day. I just posted some fact about him on my story, and from that day, he's following my account. And I was like, wow. So I
That's
was like
so
always inspired by his building, his style. I like he's following who I don't know who
yeah.
runs the page, but it's big deal
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
of course. Absolutely. I know. I mean, I know how it feels. It might sound very like sort of it's not something, but as a person behind, how big of a deal it is.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
absolutely.
And even like BV Doshi shared some of my stories that day when he got that medal,
Yeah.
Reba medal, and I was like so happy that day that he shared my story. So
That's awesome. That reminds me, I think once, sometime long back, Chris Pratt watched a lot of my stories. I think that was also a very big moment for me. I'm like,
wow.
wow. So yeah.
So moving on, you get inspired by.
It's very hard to say from where, why. I don't know. I mean, I used to get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, but then I see a lot of people recreating or basically copy pasting the styles everywhere. Like, I have been in this for 2 years. I'm doing this like on a daily basis, so I know what was the original image, etc. So now I don't try to get inspired by anything. I just try to create something new. That's the reason I told you, like, I switch off a lot of information from Instagram because it's so easy to get inspired or basically try to copy. And I think I hate that. So personally, I hate that fact. So I try to do something new every time. But yes, I do get inspired with a lot of graphics as such, not architectural graphics, but graphic design, the branding, etc. So that language I really like, and sometimes I just try to put that in some of my visuals as
I think I have to limit myself on Instagram as well because getting
well.
inspired and then getting out of the mind is very difficult.
Absolutely. And then because you as a content creator, people copying, and people copying who they are copying from and everything, in and out. So you don't want to catch into that. You don't want to be a part of it as well. So I think it's true.
I think we have changed this round as not a rapid fire round, but
Oh, I'm so
talking
sorry.
it's okay. But I think to get to know more about everything, it's good. So it's okay if you have long answers.
You can just
So
edit it. I think you can just
no,
edit
no, I'll
things.
not edit it. I'll put it. If it is very long, I'll put it in two parts.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. So a very very important question. What will you tell to your younger self?
Oh, I will tell my younger self to not be worried about job or something. And my 3 years back, I mean, like maybe you can say like 2018 self, I would say just quit the job right now. Don't want to be in this job anymore. I should have quit long before. So yeah, that's what I would have said. Yeah.
And what you would like to change in the design industry if you can?
I think I will change a lot of things, but one thing I would change is like obviously the professors in all the universities above 40 years old. I would just remove all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have an Instagram account, you are not supposed to teach.
Okay, okay, okay. Teachers who
Yeah.
are listening, please, please have an Instagram account, please.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
Moving on. Items you cannot live without.
Definitely my phone. And yes, I think that's about it. Phone and my diary. I think my journal sort of a thing. That's, yeah.
And if not architecture candy, what name were you thinking of?
No name. Honestly, I have never ever thought of any alternate name. I haven't. I don't have an answer for it. I've never thought of any other name. I would have thought of it, would have taken seriously, but nothing.
I think this is very very unique name, and I think that as name has also helped you to reach here where you are.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But now I know it's become an identity and a brand itself. So now I don't want to change it.
Yes.